The time is now 7 o'clock, and I'd like to call the Beloit City Council meeting to order at this time. First order of business is roll call.
All councilors are present.
Second item is Pledge of Allegiance. May you all stand, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Third item is special orders of the day and announcements. There are none. Fourth, public hearings. There are none. Fifth, public comment. We've reached a point on the agenda where citizens may come forward and speak. We do ask you to limit your comments to 3 minutes. I will not cut you off at 3 minutes, but I'll get you a friendly reminder, and we will end comments shortly after that. We do ask you to refrain from any personal attacks on council, any personal attacks on staff. If that does take place, I will ask you to be seated immediately. At this time, I do not have anyone who filled out a paper for public comments, but if anyone would like to speak under public comments this evening, please step forward and state your name and address for the record. Second call, anyone wishing to speak under public comments this evening. Third and final call, anyone wishing to speak under public comments this evening. Seeing none, we'll close that portion of the agenda and move to item 6, which is the consent agenda.
All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a counselor so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered at this point on the agenda.
Thank you. Is there any counselor like anything removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none, the consent agenda consists of items 6A through 6E. Is there a motion for approval? There's a motion by Jacobson. There's a second by Duncan. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 7, licenses, please. 7A.
7A is a resolution approving the 2017-19 applicants for an alcohol beverage operator/bartender's license for the period November 10th through the 24th. You have before you 4 applicants, all being recommended for approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion for approval? Motion by Forback. Is there a second? Second by Duncan. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of 7A say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 8, ordinances. 8A, please.
8A is a proposed ordinance to repeal, create, amend, and recreate various sections of the Code of General Ordinances of the City of Beloit pertaining to fees.
Attorney Krieger.
Good evening. The city has embarked on a comprehensive review of its fee schedule for the last 6 to 9 months. The schedule will be presented to the City Council at its next meeting on December 18th. The updated fee schedule will memorialize the fees that are currently in place as well as those that were approved as part of the annual budget process. As you know, as time has allowed, the city has been working towards removing the fees from the ordinance and placing it into the fee resolution. So this has caught most of the stragglers then that were still left in the ordinance so that we have one-stop shop, so to speak, with regard to our fees. So all of the fees will be updated in the annual budget review process within a fee resolution. So there's also, so most of the language is pretty technical in nature, and there's a couple other sections that there were missing some language about setting the fees, and so we included that within some of the ordinance changes to allow the fees to be set by resolution. Parks is one of them that stood out to me. So I will take any questions.
Is there a motion to lay over 8A? Motion by Jacobson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Forback. Any questions, comments? There's been a motion and a second to lay over to the next meeting. All those in favor of laying it over say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 9 are appointments. I don't believe we have any this evening. Item 10, council's activities and upcoming events. Councilor Forback.
Yes. Well, I think I was gone for a while during our great Thanksgiving times. I'm looking forward to a bus trip that's coming up that will take us around the steering committee, who's going to be taking a look at our new 10-year plan. And I think that's a great idea, and I love this because it is moving forward then. You know, people needed more information, and this is a way to get it. So I want to compliment everybody for continuing on with this plan with information. I also just quickly want to also say that we had asked questions about the ordinance 8A at our pre-meeting, and I do want to thank staff for clearing these things up. I think the public needs to know that if you have questions about fees in the future, it's going to be easier for you to find out what things are. There's going to be one place to go. You're not going to have to dig through our ordinances. And this is just best practices and compliments to everybody.
Thank you. Council Preschel.
Yeah, since I also attended the steering committee for the new comprehensive plan, and the second meeting of that, as all city councilors were invited to it, and it was very interesting to the new demographic census data that was presented by Drew Pennington from the city. And it's interesting to note that since 1970, our population has not changed. And that's not a good thing, folks, and that's one of our challenges as a city that we face. I don't know if we need to be bigger, but we need to be better. And that our housing stock, which is something we always talk about when we talk about tax levy, is challenged because over 60% of our housing stock is pre-1960 build, which is quite unusual in itself. And there's many other things, but there's a lot of information in that census data that was a lot of people should be aware of, and it's presents unique challenges. I also attended a Visit Beloit meeting where we went over a preliminary result of their survey done for the Destination Next marketing plan out of Michigan, and very interesting. I've been telling people for the last couple of years that I felt we had reached a tipping point. We're just on the cusp of greatness, and that's exactly what the survey is showing. The survey was of a group of internal, local people and stakeholders. So it was very interesting. And later on, once it's finalized and everything, I'm sure Celestine will be here and give a full presentation of it. But that was very interesting, and it was, something again that we have to be aware of, and I'm glad he did it. Coming up here, we had a record turnout for the Holidazzle, and that parade, the lighted parade, had to have been a record turnout too. It was just the beautiful weather. The amount of people that were down there was just phenomenal. They had an additional Saturday indoor farmers market at Bushel and Peck that was huge. I mean, I was really surprised at the turnout again for that nice weather. Our golf course continued to operate through this nice weather too, which is always nice. And coming up, you'll see a lot of places in town doing promotions for the Christmas season. The Love Lights, where my wife works, they do a Christmas tree donations in there, buying ornaments, help support people. There's a lot of things going on, so help support that. Thank you.
Councilor Jacobson.
No report.
Councilor Anderson.
Thank you. Basically, last couple weeks I went to the lighted holiday parade, and it was amazing. It was nice to not be frozen like it was last time. I sadly missed Holidazzle. I was up with the hockey kids coaching, so I sadly missed it, but maybe next time. I do want to give a shout out to that team, though. Last week, they not only beat Janesville twice in the same day, which was awesome, they ended up dropping off stuff to the Rock County Humane Society, and I think it was great to see those kids give back. And surprisingly enough, they asked what's going on next, so it's good to see those kids wanting to give back and make Beloit a great city, so I was really proud of them. But upcoming, I'm locking myself on campus because I have finals coming up. It's my second to last finals week, so I'm trying to get ready to do that so I don't have to stay much past what I have to now. I don't want to be a student again in the fall, so trying to do well now so I don't have to do that.
Okay, Councilor Blakely.
Good luck, Clinton.
Yeah, thanks.
I haven't been doing a lot lately. I did a little shopping at Holidazzle, and I love the lights in our downtown area. It's really beautiful. I am looking forward to Music for the Seasons at Beloit Library, which takes place the next couple of Friday afternoons from 4 to 5 o'clock, right in or outside the Blender at the library. It's free, it's family, it's really very special. Thank you.
Vice President Duncan. Would you?
Every time.
Okay.
Okay. First, I participated in the AIU project at Beloit High School last Thursday. Chris Luther, Sean Fredericks, the teachers and volunteers did a fantastic job. We had a full day of activities. All I can say is We have the most wonderful teachers that truly have a passion for teaching. So kudos to them for what they do every day and for what they are doing with the AIU project. So what does AIU stand for? The A stands for acceptance, the I stands for include, and the U is for understand. With that said, I can remember serving on the school board, and one thing that was recognized in many of the studies was that children learn better when they feel a sense of connectedness. So the AIU project allowed us to mentor students and to do just that. We had the chance to meet the students where they were. I encouraged the students to not only stay in school, but to learn in school. Throughout the activity sessions, you could see the positive impact that the AIU project was having on the students. They could feel comfortable sharing without fear of judging. I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to be part of that project and can't wait. Special thanks to Chris, Sean, and the teachers for leading such a worthwhile effort. Thank you for caring about our kids. Also, while I was at the high school, I had the opportunity to tour the Lowe's to Success free laundry program with Lori Lange. No child should have to come to school with clothes that aren't clean, and that program supports that. I want to encourage you to please donate to this project by calling Ms. Lange at 608-361-3077. I also had a chance to attend the downtown Beloit Hazel event with some of my other fellow council members. I enjoyed stopping into the Villager to look at the art frames and other items, and caroling with the Beloit High School Choir. It was so wonderful to see so many people having fun downtown for the holiday. And thanks to the Downtown Beloit Association and city staff for your work. It is very much appreciated. Also, I attended the tree lighting ceremony this afternoon at the Beloit Health System. People could honor a loved one by purchasing a light, and the proceeds would go towards the scholarships for area high school students pursuing careers in the medical fields. So special thanks to Tim McKevitt and the many hospital staff and volunteers that helped to make that event a success. It was a room full. It was full inside and outside of the facility. In addition, BIF is coming in February. You can get a sneak peek of the independent films that will be coming. And I wasn't aware of this, but each Wednesday at the Hendricks Center at 6:30, you can get a sneak peek and go see those movies. The cost is $2 for students and $5 for adults. Also, I was made aware that our high school students will be performing The Miracle on 4th Street at the high school theater on December 8th at 7:30 and December 9th at 9:00 p.m. The tickets are $8 for adults and $5 for the students. And I just go on to say that there are so many great things happening in our city, so there's no reason for anyone to be sitting at home alone. You can come out, and we have lots of people, and we're doing a lot of fun things here in Beloit. In closing, I want to give a heartfelt condolence to the Mueller family in the loss of Joan Mueller. Some of you may remember about a month ago we recognized the family for their contributions to our city. So Joan was a very special person, and she'll truly be missed in our community. And I want to wish our school superintendent, Tom Johnson, a speedy recovery. We hope that you feel better soon, Tom. And then I have to end with this because I don't want to get in trouble. But please go on the City of Beloit website and consider volunteering to serve on one of our committees. So there's room for you. If you need something to do, and there's so many things going on and happening in our city, and you do find yourself with some free time, please, please seriously volunteer for one of our city committees. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. No report from me. So we move to item 11, City Manager's presentation. There's not one this evening. Item 12, reports from boards and city officers. 12A, please.
Is a resolution approving the neighborhood revitalization strategy area addendum to the City of Beloit Housing Rehabilitation Revolving Loan Program.
Mrs. Christensen.
In September, the City Council approved the Neighborhood Revitalization Strategy Area Plan, which included strategies to improve neighborhood conditions in the Maryland Hackett neighborhood. As part of that, there were some housing components, which included the city's Housing Rehab Revolving Loan Fund. I don't know if everybody knows what the loan programs are that are included in there, but there is, okay, now I have to put my glasses on to read. The owner-occupied rehab loan program, rental rehab loan program, distressed property, and construction loans. Under the NARSA guidelines, we could give, instead of 100% of the applicants being required to be low and moderate income, we have the ability to lower that percentage to 51% to provide service to more people in the neighborhoods. In order to do that, we needed to modify our loan guidelines. Additionally, as we did send direct mailing out to residents in the neighborhoods. We did find that there were some issues that came up that needed to be addressed through our loan manual. So the first thing in your packet talks about the income range, which I just mentioned. The second is we are proposing to increase the loan-to-value ratio to 120% for installment loans and 110% for deferred loans. The deferred loans would still be restricted to participants that are at or below 80% of the county median income. The program is set up to defer them for those who make less money. We're increasing the maximum loan amount from $20,000 for installed and deferred and $25,000 for construction loans to $30,000 for all types of loans. There's currently no lead paint reduction incentive. We used to have lead grants. We had them for a number of years, but at this point we're out of our lead money. So we're setting aside, well, we're not setting aside, we're just offering as part of our full program $5,000 in a forgivable loan that will be forgiven over a period of years to allow people to address the lead issues in their homes. The HUD funding requires you to address the lead issues in your home, and sometimes those can eat up a good chunk of your loan amount. So this will allow $5,000 to be forgivable. And then if you approve it tonight, we'll include this as our loan manual and then roll it out. And there were a couple other features in here which are included in the narrative on the next page, which is that where the total debt of a household has exceeds the assessed fair market value of the property, the owner has the option to pay for an independent after rehab appraisal, and we'll use that in determining the loan-to-value ratio. And then the city, in the NARSA areas, the city will reimburse property owners for an appraisal of up to $250. So that these are all being put into place to try to make the loan program more available and accessible to the residents of those two neighborhoods. And so this amendment will only take place while we have a NARSA in place. So it won't continue forever and ever. It will just continue during the time period that we have NARSA areas in the city.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Preschel, second by Blakely. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. 12B, please.
A resolution authorizing application and acceptance of a Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation grant.
Chief Liggett.
Good evening, City Councilors. We would like to apply for a grant through the Firehouse Subs restaurant here in Beloit. They have a Public Safety Foundation grant that funds fire departments with equipment and training. And we are looking at replacing turnout gear. We're a little bit behind on our replacement schedule, and we put together a CIP project this year for the coming 2 years or 3 years to replace that gear. This will help us get a jump start on that project if we were successful in getting the grant. The funding is available. There's no match, and the funding capacity for the program is $25,000. We would be able to get 9 sets of turnout gear for $23,931.55. This complies with our strategic plan. There is no long-term impact on the city's budget. There is a short-term savings for us in order to not have that obligation on the CIP. And then the care and maintenance of the turnout gear is already in the operational budget. So I'd ask for your support.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Forback. Is there a second? Second by Jacobson. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. 12C, please.
A resolution adopting the updated Rock County All Hazards Mitigation Plan.
Chief Liggett.
Switching hats from fire chief to emergency manager, the local municipalities of Rock County complete a hazard analysis and mitigation plan every 5 years. This is a requirement of the state and federal government in order to provide investment justification for mitigation projects in our region. Adoption of this plan is required to be eligible for federal and state mitigation grant funding. The predecessor to this plan provided for us to have shoreline restoration and flood prevention along the Rock River. This plan identifies threats to our community and examines a broad range of efforts that the community and municipality can do to reduce the impact of disaster if it were to occur. A committee of community members from all over Rock County, including members from the city of Beloit, Gary Shank, myself, Chris Walsh, participated in the development of this plan before her retirement, and this plan is before you tonight for approval. This is compliant with our strategic plan, and it makes us eligible for grant funds that we would need to prevent the damage that may occur as a result of a disaster. So your support would be greatly appreciated.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Preschel, is there a second? Second by Jacobson. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Item 13, is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Preschel, is there a second? Second by Duncan. All those in favor of adjournment say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, we're adjourned.